Welcome to the 2023 Coaching Summit. This Coaching Summit is brought to you by us, Zoe Hawkins and Joe Wheatley from Inga Company, a global coaching training organisation. It is our mission to make coaching as accessible as possible to as many people as possible, and this Coaching Summit is one of the ways in which we do that. If you'd like to connect with us outside of this summit, then please follow us on Instagram, connect with us on LinkedIn, or join our Facebook group, The Coaching Crowd. We encourage you to share your learnings from these sessions and tag us in our social channels so we can share in the learning with you. But for now, sit back and enjoy the session. We can't wait to hear what you think.
Hello everybody, great to see you here for Lou's session this afternoon, which is coaching internal self-talk for greater confidence. We all have internal self-talk, and sometimes it gets in the way of us either achieving the things we want to or us enjoying the things that we're doing in the way that we want to. So Lou's session is going to be a great one for you this afternoon. She's going to be taking you through some coaching questions, got a bit of metaphor in there, which I love. Engage with her in the session. I'm Jo Wheatley. I am one half of the co-founders of Inga Company. We're a global accredited training organisation, and many of you might have heard of our emotions coaching practitioner training, which is the latest addition to our CPD, and we love running that. So Shelley's also here today, Shelley Clark. She is our fantastic training coordinator, and she's hosting the call with you today and supporting Lou as she goes through the session with you. So have a great session, and I'll hand you over to Lou.
Thanks ever so much. Thanks everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's great to see so many of you here, and hopefully from your lunch you're not sleeping. So this could be quite an interactive session, so I encourage you to wake up a little bit. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you to stand up and go, come on, move your body. It's fine, don't worry. I just need you to do a lot of chat in the chat box. So here we go. So first of all, thanks everyone for joining, and I am going to put a special thanks out to friends and colleagues, family who are joining, or if you're watching on the catch up. So before I go into the slides, I've got some slides. People that know me, I'm not really a slidey person, but it's just to help us remember where we are. A background about me is my background is learning and development. I really believe that you need to understand yourself to support others. I really wish I had these tools available to me when I was back in school, struggling with that self-doubt, struggling with that self-belief, and knowing whether or not it's something that I could do when this internal self-talk just kept talking. And I will share with you towards the end something about mine. Okay, so my first question to you before we get started, let me just share my first slide with you all. That might actually help. Okay, so hopefully you can see my slides. Okay, so let me just, really sorry, let me just have a little wiggle of this one over here so I know where I am. Okay, so first of all, how many of you have that internal self-talk that really stops you from achieving what you want to achieve or moving forwards? Please comment in the chat. Oh yes, that is definitely coming through loud and clear. I hear you all, absolutely hear you. Okay, how many of you also have that positive self-talk? So you've probably gone yes, talking about the negative, but how many of you actually recognize that positive? Yeah, amazing. Yeah, absolutely. So today we are going to connect with that self-talk to get that greater confidence. And you might be thinking, what the hell is she on about? But actually, you'll understand why as we go through. Please ask questions throughout. I am going to try and keep an eye on the chat. I think Shelley's going to help me out too. So yeah, as I say, keep using the chat. That would be amazing. So first of all, get to my next slide. How many of you push it away? So whether that's positive or negative, how many of you would say that you push it away? Comment in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, so many comments coming through. This is great. Thank you so much. This is amazing. So often, it depends on what sort of day you're having. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we do tend to push it away, and we tend not to recognize those positive ones. We just go through life, just go, oh yeah, but we really can relate to those negative ones. So I really want you to think now around how many of you feel angry or frustrated or annoyed that it's prevented you from doing what you want to do, what you want to achieve. Yeah. Wow. Absolutely. I'm hearing this, everybody. I'm absolutely hearing this. So here we go. Here's the bit that Joe was looking forward to. So you're probably wondering what the hell has hot chocolate got to do with this whole session? What on earth has it got to do with connecting with your self-talk? So you feel angry, frustrated, annoyed, and you are attempting to push it away. What I like to do with this analogy of hot chocolate is thinking of this hot chocolate, it's very yummy, by the way, with those marshmallows. And what we tend to do is we push those marshmallows down. So think about those marshmallows as emotions and feelings. And what we do is we tend to push those down. And of course, they're going to pop back up again. How many times do you pop a marshmallow down and it keeps coming back up? And it's just like the self-talk. But what you could do is find that a marshmallow could just embrace the heat and melt into the hot chocolate. And that's what we're going to do today with our self-talk. We are going to embrace that hot chocolate and we're just going to begin to feel those feelings. So what we're going to do is we are going to begin. And firstly, I'm going to ask you to connect with the present moment. So take a couple of deep breaths and connect with yourself and be present. Just nice breaths in. Try not to fall asleep if you've had a heavy lunch. Okay. Let's begin. Let me just go back one, sorry. That's what happens when you've got two screens. Okay, so whose voice do you hear? Share in the chat as you notice that self-talk. Whose voice do you hear? Is it yours? Is it somebody else's? Is it something from your past? Quite a few saying mine, like your own, family members. Okay. Someone else's, depends on situation. No voice. Okay. So Rada, where it's no voice, what is it instead? What does it sound like? Just pop in the chat if you don't mind. What does it sound like if it's not a voice? It's really interesting because it doesn't have to be a voice. Okay. What's the pitch or tone? Is it loud? Is it quiet? Is it roaring at you? Fast, judgmental, yeah, quiet, kind and soft, loud and clear, normal. Okay. Yeah. Told you so even. Oh, wow. That's quite strong, Cheryl. Critical. Absolutely. And as I said, it doesn't have to be a particular sound. It can even be white noise sometimes. It can be something that, you know, it can be a number of things. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's your own feeling and your own thoughts. So, you know, you need to sort of go with that and just keep embracing it for the moment. Now, where is it? So when I say where is it, I've mentioned in the heading that it's internal self-talk. But is it internal? Is it that actually it's outside of you? Because it isn't always inside, it can be outside. And I saw a comment earlier, Sarah had mentioned around how it's the feeling in the stomach, you know, that churning in the tummy, it can be that as well. Racing heart. Head's coming up quite a lot. Yeah. It's great to see everyone still with me, and after lunch, it's fantastic. Or you might even be eating lunch now. Racing heart beside left ear. Chest, crushing feeling, lump in the throat. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. This is really, really helpful. So when you hear that voice, that horrible thing, whatever it's saying to you, what's the feeling? What do you feel when you hear whatever it's telling you? Kremlin, yeah. Now this would be great to use the feelings wheel for those of you who use that in your coaching, or, you know, doing your coaching sessions, to, you know, bring that in to help people really connect to those feelings. Scared, overwhelmed. Yeah. Disheartened. And what's really interesting is that, you know, people come to coaching sessions wanting to talk about a particular thing. And what I find really fascinating is that they talk a lot about, you know, hearing that voice, whatever that voice is. And it's when you start drilling down on this, they can really connect and then move forward slightly. Okay, I want you to ask it, why is it there? What's its purpose? Why is it there for you? And it may take some time to understand, why is it there? To protect, keep safe, make you better, keep safe. The voice of reason. Stop me from falling. Yeah. Motivate. Yeah, absolutely. Stop you from embarrassing yourself. Avoid humiliation. So the reality is, it kind of has a reason to be there. There are two things, you know, you can say, well, it's holding you back from doing X, but there's a reason that it's holding you back. And you've just mentioned there, the patience, to, you know, keep you safe, to protect you, to avoid you from humiliating yourself, to be cautious. So there is a positive reason why it's there. So then ask it, what does it need? What does it need to know that you are being patient, you are being safe, you are cautious? Just really connect with it for a moment. Yeah. Yeah, to learn. Yeah, trust. Yeah. And those of you, again, coaching sessions, it's great to do values elicitation when understanding, what does it need? Acknowledgement, reassurance. Yeah, definitely. Time. Now you've connected with it, what I really want you to do now is just notice how you're feeling. You've connected, you recognize whose voice, or if it's not a voice, you've recognized the pitch and the tone. You've recognized why it's there and what it's needed. Oh, sorry, Catherine, a bit sick. I do apologize. Hope you're going to feel okay. Yeah. You see Natalie's got her hand up. Thank you. Yeah, stronger, peaceful. Thank you. Okay, so little muscle building going on here, but for the brain. So it's definitely around letting you know that you're safe and that you're okay, and thank it for being there. Just anxious, nervous feeling as okay. You'll get there, Catherine. It just takes practice, I promise. I'll share with you a few moments, my experience. So just by acknowledging it and letting it know that you're there and you're going to be there, and, you know, just practicing these questions that I've shared with you today. The slides and recording will be available, as we've been saying throughout today. You know, just taking those steps. And the more that you practice, guess what? The stronger that muscle will become of that positive self-talk. And it's just thinking about those of you that have, you know, learned to drive, and you can drive or swim or do the job you're doing now. Practice takes consistency, and be kind to yourself, hence the top today. Be kind to yourself whenever it takes over. And just take a deep breath. Just do a couple of deep breaths, come into the present moment, and just acknowledge. So then you can move on to the next stage. If it's still not quite satisfied, that's okay. Again, be kind to yourself. What you can do is take it to the court or court of law, and you become the defense attorney, prosecutor, and judge. So just want you to think about this for a moment. If you've got pen and paper, feel free to write it down or jot some notes, or just think to yourself for the moment. You have that self-talk and it's preventing you from moving forwards. What's the evidence for this self-talk? What's the evidence that what it's saying is true? And I'm not talking about, you know, it needs to be factual, and I, you know, avoid assumptions and opinions. Your own opinions. It's that, what evidence do you have that it's true? And then share the evidence that, you know, against that self-talk. Are there things that you have done where you said, I can't do this, yet you're doing it now? Are there things that you can think, whether personal or work, that you've just done it anyway, despite that self-talk? And then become the judge. Become the judge using, I like the phrase, beyond all reasonable doubt. You know, is it likely to be true? And it's likely there might be some truth in there. But if the truth is from somebody who's told you you're not good enough, if the truth is from somebody that you don't respect, is it really truth, or is it just information that it wasn't for that person? Because they're not you. You are you, and you are uniquely you. So absolutely, thoughts are not facts. They are like clouds, as I call them. They come in, they go out. They might drop a lot of rain and decide to go off a bit later. Makes a change, I'm not using food as an analogy. But yeah, think about all the things. Whenever it says to you, you can't do that, you're not good enough, what you are doing that shows you are good enough, what you are doing or have achieved, and the feedback you've had or data you've had from others, but kind data. So I am going to share with you my lovely self-talk. So allow me to introduce you to my self-talk. This is, for those that don't know the film, this is Madam Mim from Sword in the Stone. I absolutely love this animation. And when I first came across her, she absolutely resonated with me. So she can be horrible, which is the lovely image to the left of your screen. She can be absolutely horrible, and she can turn into many things. She's to my right shoulder, so she's not internal at all. She's here. And applying to come on this summit, she became huge. She was massive. She was like, you can't do that. You're not going to get selected. You're not good enough. You don't fit. all of those different things. And I did it anyway, and I'm here. But she was really loud, and she can be loud. She was trying to protect me. Her aim was to protect me from humiliation, from the fear of it falling apart, technology not working, me not lasting the time that I wanted to last. But I thank her for trying to protect me, and I respect her for keeping me safe. And that's what's really important, is what it's there for and why, and just doing things anyway. So you'll be pleased to know we're almost at the end of my chatter. So I'm just going to briefly just share about me. So on the screen there, top left-hand corner, loving our uniqueness, LOU, Lou, is where I came up with your unique coaching sort of wording for when I do decide to fully go into coaching. You can find me by scanning the QR code. I haven't got a website quite yet. It's being created in the background, but you can find me on Instagram. I hang out there quite a bit, and LinkedIn. So I will share my LinkedIn bits and pieces there too. So just to share with you, I am a qualified coach, currently enhancing my tools by almost finishing my level 7 with Zoe and Joe. So thankful to those two for the training that they deliver, and the family that they bring along with it. Along that, I'm also studying to be a therapist for my sins. So I'm juggling lots of things at the same time, just so I can bring a wealth of tools and support to anybody who needs it. Because, you know, people talk about coaching being a therapy, and in a way it is. It's a workout for the mind, and just unraveling and releasing that just really helps. In time, my website will have the opportunity to coach with me. Come along and I'll, you know, do a bit of a chemistry chat just to make sure, because I can be quite bubbly, but of course I am at your level. So if, for example, you are feeling really low, I will be low with you and hopefully bring you to where you need to be. I do like to bring humour to my sessions. I've been really good not to swear today, because I am terrible for doing that normally, especially for people who know me. So I have been really, really good. But of course, I do use humour where it is appropriate to do so. So my website will be coming soon, building in the background, where hopefully this link will be on there of the recording and some testimonials. And I just want to thank you all so much. I just stopped sharing my screen. Thank you all so much for joining me. It's just been great and fantastic. So thank you all so much. Any questions? It's really weird watching the chat rather than people talking on the other end.
Oh, there's lots of thank yous in the chat, Lou.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And a massive well done to the coaches this morning. They've been fantastic sessions, really good.
Well, thank you so much, Lou. You're our 4th session of the day, so it's been another fantastic turnout here. And so just know that it's obviously been another powerful one for everybody as well, just looking at the comments that have been in the chat there for you. So yeah, really well done. Thank you. And thanks to everybody for turning up today to this other amazing session. If anyone has got any questions at all for Lou, any of our other speakers, or for any of us at In Good Company, please feel free to pop over to our Facebook group, the Coaching Summit Warm-Up group, which a lot of you are already in, I know that, or just feel free to email us and we can either answer your questions or pass it on to the speakers for you. For anyone else that is joining us this afternoon for other sessions, we'll be closing this link down for the moment and then coming back on at 2 o'clock, and we look forward to seeing you all this afternoon. Thanks again, Lou. It's been great.